So, I think let us get stuck in. So, you all are asleep. First, the Wolfman. Sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble with the names yet. First, the Wolfman will wake up, and you awake on a little rowboat. There is a curmudgeonly old man in a giant brimmed straw hat with a rod slowly pushing the boat forward. You can just see him look into the distance and spit.
Do I recognize this man?
Yes, this man is the ferryman that you have hired to get you to the nearest town, or little village rather, which is called Fenlight. Well,
Okay.
well, at least it's fine if someone's awake.
How long have we been sleeping, ferryman?
Well, just a couple of hours you must have dozed off.
How long till we reach our destination?
Should be not more than 20 minutes. Old
Excellent.
Bram, the ferryman, is looking into the distance, and next up, let's say, Vencel, you also wake up. Old
Where are
Bram
we?
says,
Are we there?
yeah,
I
yeah,
wake up.
we must be close. Do smell the bog. Do smell the rot.
I do smell a lot. It's quite stinky. I don't like it.
Could you two please describe your characters to each other?
Very well. Um, I am a wild being, a man who seems to have spent most of his life either in the wild or much around it. I'm covered head to toe with scars and wounds that haven't quite healed all the way, but you won't see most of it because most of it is covered in thick cloth. Even my face is covered with a thick cloth. You can tell from looking at me that I don't come from around here, but rather more from somewhere to the east, a much more arid and temperate climate there. My eyes are never really resting, they seem, when they look.
Yeah, my character is a lanky, oldish man. Oldish because it doesn't have gray hair and beard, but it's, how do you say it, grayish, black with some gray strains in it. Uh, always looks like he's on some uh, like he stares into the nothingness because he looks like he's on the verge of falling asleep, and sometimes just ask things like, "What are we doing? Where are we?" Uh, he had his memory erased. He doesn't remember why, uh, but and he has some strange knacks. So sometimes he just sniffs around for things and uh, does things with his beard. How can I say that? Yeah, he plays with his beard, and generally he doesn't always focuses on the things around him, and he looks like some hobo you met on the way.
Coincidentally, I also look like some hobo you met on the way. I forgot to mention that.
You're just all a bunch of fucking hobos.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. Now, sorry, Gottfried von Pantalon wakes up. Old Bram says, "You hear the croaking of the frogs?"
Uh,
What?
sorry. Uh, well, there's noises. Uh,
Yeah.
frogs. Sounds a lot like frogs. Yeah, I can hear them.
They're particularly active this time of year, aren't they?
Must be, must be the, must be the way the moon is shining on them. Makes them more active this time of year.
Quite. I've seen you've been around these parts before. Could you please describe your character for the others?
So, I'm Gottfried. I'm from a small town called Pantalon. Um, I used to be an astronomer. Um, one night I went to the woods with my wife and child, and we've been ransacked by a couple of bandits. They hit me in the head, and by the time I woke up, my wife and child were dead. And with this newfound bloodlust, I'm just trying to find my way in the world. I'm a pretty old guy. Um, yeah, that's me.
All right. Gottfried, while you get up on your feet, you accidentally kick some tiny bundle of cloth that is on the bottom of the boat. And that pile of cloth just jerks and jolts awake. Who is Easy E? Could you please introduce your character to us?
God damn it, man, waking me up again. I'm Little Easy E. That's the name I got in prison. I'm
Holy shit, love.
I'm very active. I'm always awake. Gotta stay awake. Can't let them shank you in the back. I'm small of stature, but you know I got a pretty big heart. I'm trying to get away with everything, trying to steal and stuff. I'm just along with these kind of guys because I heard there was some treasure to be found. Gotta get out of here. They're chasing me. I was just asleep here. This guy waking me up. I don't know, man. This is all a little bit shady to me.
As Bram, the old man, pushes the boat, it catches on a stray piece of wood floating down the river, and the boat jolts a bit, and you suddenly just start getting frightened of all the movements. All this commotion reminds me of your time in prison. You're getting a bit claustrophobic, let's just say. How does that say? How does that work? Right. Last but not least, an even smaller bundle of cloth gets up, and Quinn Goodbarrel, please, would you introduce yourself to us?
Yes, so I'm Quinn Goodbarrel. I'm a halfling. Um, I'm known as the sommelier because I studied for half my life the pursuit of sommeliership. I've been tasting wines wherever I could. I've spent quite some money on it, and that caused some issues with my noble family. I stole a lot of things, I created havoc, and when it's time to pay up for these things, I'm nowhere to be found. So my family usually pays for my antics. I miss the good life. I miss the. I want to go back home. So I'm looking for money. Uh,
Well, old Bram keeps pushing the boat down the river Dancer. I'll just put that in there. So you're on the river Dancer, and it's a shallow, lazy river that slowly floats in the direction where you are traveling. Now, Evert, could you please tell me why you like Quinn Goodbarrel and Lil Easy E?
All right, I'll start in that order. It has been many years before I learned what life was like for people who stand on two legs, for people who learn things other than to survive. To me, Quinn Goodbarrel is the epitome of someone who can enjoy the niceties and fine style of life, to find appreciation in all these things, and to not shy away of tasting something decadent. On the contrary, Lil Easy E, Lil Easy E has seen hardship in his life. I assume you are he. Lil Easy E has seen hardship in his life. I too know what it is like to be backed into a corner, to shank your way to safety. He shows tenacity, and for that I must respect him. That's it.
Thank you very much. Next question goes out to Jasper. Lil Easy, why do you like Flanker, and why do you like Gottfried von Pantalon?
Well, they're both on the run, just like me, trying to search for money. That's all that matters in this life, actually, trying to get a way out. And I respect that lifestyle. That's why I follow them up. I can't remember anymore how I got to meet these guys, but they've become my lifetime companions since I went out of jail. Um, they keep me safe. We keep each other safe, and I guess that's the thing that counts.
Very, very good. Gottfried, why do you like Lil Easy E, and why do you like the old man? Not that old man, the old man.
Teal, man. Yeah. So I like him because I like the company. It's been a pretty long time since I've had this close kinship, even family. I call him my family. Um, we've been on a couple of smaller adventures together, and since they understand my rage, we can get pretty good along, and that's why I like them both.
All right. Now, old man, why do you like Gottfried, and why do you like Quinn?
Queen is someone I can
yeah, the
talk
sommelier.
about with various intellectual things like wine and poetry, which reminds me of my forgotten life, brings back memories of my previous life where only where I spent it, I think, with some peers who were good debate partners, and that brings me back and takes me back when I wasn't just someone who roamed the land and tried not to fall asleep and die. And Queen gives me that closure. Gottfried Gottfried, I feel he's his determination to avenge his family some way is something that gives direction. And as I am lost in this world without my past, that gives me some motivation to move on and do something, even if it's not my personal goal, but someone else, and it just helps me to go with someone who knows what he wants.
All right. Last but not least, Quinn, why do you like the old man, and why do you like the flanker?
Who was the flanker again? Because I thought it was the
Evert.
It's a
old man.
me.
Evert. The flanker. Okay. The flanker. I imagine he's quite interested in the good life, being because his past was such horror and um, the like the inverse of noble life and
Poverty.
poverty. Yeah, I was thinking noble. Um, so I can tell many stories about my past, and he listened. And it provides me with solace. It provides me with the idea that I haven't lost my past yet, even though it's behind me, far behind me. The old man. Well, yeah, you already told about the intellectual discussion, so I'm trying to get something.
It can go both ways. You can both admire each other's intelligence in the midst of these peasant folk.
That's a good idea. Out of all the people, the person that seems to like wine the most is the old man.
All right. Now we are going to get to the nastier business. Flanker, why are you a bit wary? Why are you concerned about the old man? Uh, Concerned can be you might feel a bit threatened by them, or you might have a concern for their well-being. Just, a general sort of uneasiness is what I'm going for.
Well, we've been on the road for a while, and where we are going, much danger is to be expected. Looking at the old man, he seems to not be there fully, like he blinks in and out of consciousness. One such misstep in the midst of a battle might prove fatal for him or an ally. He should do well to focus his attention more on the situation at hand, rather than slip away to some sort of delirium at times.
Easy E, why are you concerned about Queen Goodbarrel?
I want him to be safe, and I want him to feel at ease, because that's something I always thought for. Um, yeah, that's why I'm concerned for him.
All right.
Little guys gotta stick together, you know?
That's true, man.
Gottfried, why are you concerned about the flanker?
Well, he's played by Evert, so no.
That concerns all of us. That does not count.
No, he's a shadowy figure. Everybody here is kind of, you can see through them. You know what kind of person they are. While Flanker, he is like, I don't really know what his problem is. I don't know what's going on with this guy, and I don't. That's why I don't really trust him.
All right. Uh, I'm learning names. Old man, why are you wary of Easy E?
I don't really like the look of him. So not not in a
Turn
not
off
in
the camera. Turn off the
That's
camera.
fucking racist.
I know that like he's a criminal, and I think he got those reflexes in him, and he just his vibes give off he gives off some unreliable vibes. So like I have a feeling that I can't really trust him because he will save himself first, and something happens, he will put himself first, and I just don't feel that for me that's a really reliable man who glances around, and he feels uneasy for me. Like he's on the run, on the jump, always want to do something, and I don't like that.
Well, ironic that Lil Easy E is the least. He's the most uneasy of you all. Quinn, why are you wary of Gottfried?
I'm quite certain that not that long ago, I met someone that Gottfried knows, and I stole money from him. So I'm wary to talk about these incidents. Just it might not be that he knows the guy, but just I'm not at ease talking about myself because I might give some hint or yeah, and then I might face some consequences.
Okie dokie. And, well, one last round. Flanker, why do you have an intense dislike of the Gottfried von Pantalon? Why do you hate Gottfried? Hate is a bit of a strong word, but intense dislike.
Where I come from, deaf is a term many times used. However, one should always kill in order to survive, never out of anger. Gottfried's intense hunger, lust for revenge is unacceptable to me. There is a fine line between bravery, survival, and stupidity, and he walks all three of them at once. He
Excellent.
should learn to let go of these emotions and simply focus on his instincts.
Isn't that right? Easy E, why do you hate the old man's guts?
Some weeks ago, my ass got clapped. Took me right back to jail. Somebody sneaked up on me, saw who I was, and alerted the guards in the tavern I was sleeping. Now I know for certain it was him. I know for certain it was him. Now I ain't going back to jail. I ain't going back. So if he speaks up again, that guy better watch out. He can't sleep easy anymore.
What an absolute cunt. Gottfried, why do you hate Quinn Goodbarrel?
Because he's always like around booze, and like in the previous life, in my study days, I've been an alcoholic, and like the smell of his drinks, like it's soaked in his clothes, and it just makes me want to relive those glory days. But I know that it's much better if I don't drink. So yeah, just because of the stench, and you never know with those kind of people. Like look at like real life Evert. Yeah, you don't know. He's unpredictable. They are unpredictable, the drunks. So Yeah, that's why I
Yes.
have like a massive disdain. Yeah, I really don't like those guys. The kind of guys who drink. Like, fuck those guys.
Tell me more. Old man, why do you fucking hate the Rangers' guts, flankers' guts? Why do you have an intense dislike for him? I think this is spiraling out of control.
I don't like him because he's got a lot of secrets, and the way I already forgot like everything, and these are this there are these people who I can, at least with some of them, get along and make something in life. But Flanker is always so secretive, and he thinks it may be his cultural heritage, but he always puts up an assertive face, and but doesn't really agree to tell anything about himself. So I don't like that he's bossing around, and at the same time doesn't doesn't give us anything about his motives or anything to go on. So that's something that gives me some furious time.
And finally, Quinn, why do you just hate little Easy E?
We're alike in a way, but we're also quite different. When I steal, I do it for my noble pursuit of wine and my hobbies. When he does it, he uses the money for cheap alcohol, gambling, and other. I don't even want to say the words.
Calling me a cheapskate?
He's also. I'm also a criminal, but at least I'm intelligent enough not to get caught.
Shots fucking fired.
He's far away
Oh,
from me, so I'm safe.
on this tiny boat.
Oh yeah, but physically, yeah, we're in the game as well. But I think real life you can also have consequences.
All right. Now, mm, you're on a boat with your friends and frenemies, and the wide river, the dancer that you're on, it ambles lazily towards the sea. Not far in the distance, gently floating on the water, you see houseboats, some of which are moving upstream with a surprising speed. A few dozen villagers are getting ready for their journey, working together toward a common goal. The noises of the commotion are carried far by the wind. This is Fenlight. So, right ahead, you see a floating village that is currently being transported upstream. You can see the villagers running around, like hoisting the anchors, and some of the houseboats have already started making their way upstream. Some have even gone past you. You're going to moor to one of the piers in the city center that might be there for a while. And Old Man Bram just ushers you out of the boat because this is what you paid him for. He was hired to transport you here. Now he has better things to do than care for you. So he's going to just take off in a couple of minutes. We are going to be using the always on initiative system, which means that I'm going to first ask you in this very convenient order, and I'm really just going to use what we have had so far without any regard for dexterity or initiative. So I'm going to ask first Evert, what will you want to do? You can see in front of yourself a man dressed in colorful silk who is yelling quite loudly and obnoxiously. So he's on one of the piers. you can see a rather busy house that is undoubtedly the giant catfish Wayne Master's house. One houseboat that has sailed past you, you could see was not driven by these poles, people pushing on the boats with these poles. Rather, they had some sort of harness that was, leading in the water, and you could have fucking sworn that there was something enormous, like a giant fish underwater, that was tugging it along. So there is this house that is very, very busy. That is undoubtedly the giant catfish Wayne Master's house. There is a small cabin that you can spot off the coast, not far from the coast. That seems to be the cabin of the Marshman. There is one house that is very, very much unlike the Catfish Wayne Masters, as in everyone just fucking avoids it. You can just see a villager head that way and turn around and take the long way around because they really don't want to go near that house. There is also a scream that is carried by the wind. There is a chapel-looking houseboat on one end of this little floating village, and painful screams can be heard from that direction. You can also see a bunch of village folk, run around. You can see that their skin has been dried by the wind, tanned by the sun, and they're just simple village folk. They wear simple clothes. Some of them go bare-chested, but most of them you can see wearing these straw hats that old Bram was also wearing. They're working together on floating the village upstream, so there's quite a bit of commotion. So these are the things that you can see right now. What will you want to do? And just tell me what you want to do, and then we'll move on.
Okay, I will thank the ferryman and then head my attention to the harnessed boat with the seemingly giant fish to see if I can track how fast it's going upstream, I suppose.
Okay,
and
so
see if I can see movement on the boat itself.
Just to cut it short, you will want to check out the giant catfish Wayne Master's house, right?
Okay.
Okay. Jasper, what will you want to do?
The thing he wants to do, does he say it out loud? Like he says, like, I want to go check that out?
Yeah, now we're just declaring what we will want to do, and then we will do them in reverse order. So, and of course you can go with, for example, the ranger with flanker.
I'm also very curious at the house flanker wants to check out, but I saw the busy house. I thought maybe there's a lot of people over there with stuff that I can steal. So I really want to check that out and see how busy it is.
That's also the Catfish Wayne Master's house, so...
Sorry. Then that's the same one. Let's go.
Okay, so you two go together to see the Catfish Wayne Master. Gottfried, what do you want to do? If at any point anyone wants any reminders, like on what you have seen so far, just tell me, because it's quite complicated.
So there was a chapel that was carrying the wind and the scream in the wind. I'm probably want to go check that out.
Okie dokie. What about you, old man?
The giant fish seems very intriguing to me also. So I can't really resist to see if there's really a fish that's towing the city.
As a clue, the village is going to be gone in a couple of these rounds. Okay, so not everyone can go to every single location, and it's not even worth it because it's the same guys. But I'm just saying that you have roughly 3 rounds of this to do anything, like shop if you have any particular interests. If you want to ask around between the villagers, you have 3 of these rounds. But you also go to the Catfish Waymaster's house then.
I think yes.
Okie dokie. And Quinn, what do you want to do?
So the villagers, are they all located in the Wingmaster house, or are they out and about?
They're out and about. So there are a couple dozen houses still in the village of Fanlight.
Mhm.
And everyone's mostly minding their own business. Like they are packing up their belongings that are on these piers. They're packing tight the houseboats, and they're uh, unraveling the ropes, binding the village together. But by necessity, a lot of them turn up by the Waymaster's house, partly because it's in such a central location, but also he's the one who can supply everyone with these catfish. So if you don't want to arduously push your houseboat along against the current, he's the one to look for. So he's quite busy. This is basically his time of the season.
Okay. Yeah, I want to go talk to the town people. So I'm moving with the others, but I'm not planning to go inside
Mhm.
the building.
Okay, so you want to talk to some random villagers, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Was are the names in here? Hold on. Okay, so you talk to a couple of villagers, and most of them seem to be quite busy. They don't really have the time to chat with you because they are floating the village upstream. So they really don't have the time to just gab. But there is this Stana person who is willing to give you a couple of moments of his time. So he said, "All right, be quick about it. What do you want?"
Hmm. Um, Let me think. Um, does he look like he's well connected to people, or?
Oh no, he's a regular bumfuck villager. Uh, he, he he does not seem to be quite as well connected as the man on the pier dressed in
Hmm.
colorful silk, who's yelling quite loudly. Still, but Stan says, "Look, I don't have all fucking day to chat. We only have 3 days left until the spawn moon, and we have so much stuff to do. We need to flood this village upstream. So if you have anything you want to ask me, just spit it out. Otherwise, I need to weigh the anchor. I need to tie up everything. I cannot let my belongings get soaked. So, you know,
Um, I want to help him in some way to retrieve something for him. So I want to like convince him that I'm trustworthy. Is that something to roll for?
so no. As I mentioned in the prompt, this is a less of a roll for success type of game.
Yeah. Okay.
You can
Yeah.
convince him with your own words, but offering to help is a rather nice way to go about it. So he says, "Well, thank you for the offer. I do, in fact, have a couple of things that you could help out with. You see, my wife is quite infirm, and we have a bit of trouble every 13 years packing this stuff up. Last time she was not that infirm, but." If you could just help me, untie these ropes and weigh the anchor, well, I'm sure that even a man of the stature of yourself could help me out with that.
Okay. Um, so I'm gonna help, but I'm not that handy in things, so I might mess up a lot.
Could you roll me a strength check? You can do that on
Um,
Foundry, or you can do it with your own dice.
so wait, let me check. Is it like a command, a strength roll, or do you need to check
No, you, you,
which
you
kind
can
of...
you can open up your character thing, go to
Yeah.
abilities, down to the left to stats, and then hover over the ability you want to do, like STR, and it's red, and then click it.
Okay, yeah, and then just normal,
And it's a normal,
no
yeah.
advantage. Okay. 14.
A 14. That is, I think, for you a fail, right? What is your strength? Yeah, that's
It's 10.
10. Shit, I have not updated your abilities. I really,
Oh,
really need to do that.
10.
Sorry.
Let's see.
But
I
your
do
strength
have it
is
somewhere.
lower than that, I think. It's 8 or something because you're just a halfling.
Let's
So,
see. My strength is 9. 9.
nice. Not so bad, not so good. In any case, you you fumble around a bit. You do your best, and in the eyes of the village folk, that's what matters. But you're being more of a hindrance than anything else. But the Stana, while you are doing these chores for him, he starts chatting with you, and he says, "You know, actually, you remind me of someone. Uh, Aren't you connected to Albrecht Holtz by any chance? No?
Um, is he... Wait.
Oh, no, 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 no. If you have to think about it, then you're not. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know, he he's the richest merchant in the kingdom. No? Doesn't ring a bell?
No, doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, I thought he's famous far and wide. He's wealth incarnate, this man. But he's particularly famous in Fenlight because as a child he was actually lost in this very bog here.
So I thank Stana for the information and I quickly leave to
But
go
I
to
don't
the
Oh, thought
ritual.
you
haven't
could
even
leave
told
quickly.
haven't even told you the story. Aren't you curious?
No, no, no.
Well,
I'm...
well, in that
You
case,
can, you can. Wait, but I'm the way I think about it is I'm so amazed by this information that I quickly want to act upon it. But yeah.
well, uh, he has after you, but it's a really good story.
Okay.
Well, if you don't want to hear it, then fine, go off and do whatever you want with that fancy pants of yours. Uh, and he gestures towards the man dressed in elaborate clothes. You're better off with your folk, anyways. No,
Immediate class war.
yes. Now I think it's the trio of flanker. Why did I write fennel here? Jesus Christ.
Because I'm very tasty.
So it's the trio of flanker, Easy E, and the old man who go up to the hut of the giant catfish Wayne Master. Now, you can see that most of the work in this village concentrates around this house, where the old fisherman and his son are herding the giant catfish. They are 4 meters long and weighing nearly a ton. These men are equipping them with harnesses. You can see these specially made, rather rough harnesses that can grab onto the giant body of these enormous fish, even though they're slimy and slippy. Uh, and they're just harnessing them up, and you can see Rupert, the catfish Wayne master, uh, quickly harness one up with expert movements and just slap it like, all right, off you go. And you can see the houseboat take off with relatively incredible speed. I mean, it's a walking speed, but still far better than anything you could muster with the poles.
I go to the I go up to the fishermen and ask him, where are we going? Why are we swimming this city up the river?
Well, every 13 years we do it. You have come just at the right time, I fear. Uh, you see, every 13 years we have this thing called the spawn moon.
Spawn moon?
Spawn moon, yeah. It's it's a very, very interesting time in the bog. The animals get, well, animalistic and loud and unrowdy and ooh, uh, look, we don't like to be around for that. So, we flow the river, flow the village upstream for a couple of days, and then we come back in, let's say, a week. By the time everything goes quiet, so we can just keep living normally.
Do you have any idea why this spawn moon happens, or it's just something people live with? Or is there some spell or something on the animals by that time?
Well, we don't know much about these stuff, sir. I'm afraid. Look, we barely dare to venture in the bog ourselves, so if there is any magic afoot, I'm not aware of it.
And how safe are these bogs if even without the spawn moon you don't like to go into it? Or it's just the treacherous landscape? Or is there something worse?
Well, even during normal times, even the daytime, these creepy crawlies are stinging you, and besides, what's there to see? It's just a bunch of rotting wood, and worse, the flora is quite, quite hostile. But these days, when the spawn moon is on us, things get different. Things get weird. Just a couple of days ago, I went to gather some firewood in one of the little clearings not far from here. It's not great wood because it's been rotting in the bog for quite a while, but if you dry it out, it gives off a bit of heat, so that's nice, and the smoke keeps the mosquitoes away. Well, you would not believe I saw fucking enormous frog, half man, half frog, but it was 3 meters tall at least. And I've never seen such a fucking thing in my life. That's the sort of thing that we try to avoid. That's why we just try to get to as far from the bog as possible.
If I were you, I wouldn't come back even after the spawn moon.
I mean,
That doesn't sound right.
it's a nice place. It only happens every 13 years, so we can mostly just live our lives here. I mean, hell, I've only lived here for 20 years. I moved here from the city, so it's the last one has been okay, but it's best not to stick around. And for the record, Easy and Flanker, you are all with these guys, and you're talking to them, so you can see the Wayne Master Rupert and his son just do their chores while they're talking to you. Of course, they cannot, just like the Stana person, they cannot really stop and have a chat with you and invite you in for a tea, but they're happy to talk to you.
I guess my thirst for I had my answers, but this spawn moon really uh, sounds interesting. But I turn to my companions and suggest them that I don't think we should go into the bulk anytime soon. This spawn doesn't sound like something I want to experience.
Do we know why we paid the ferryman to come here in the first place?
Yes, you do. You are all in desperate need of glint. You're quite down on your luck, to be honest. You don't have too much money, and you have heard that there is someone here in Fenlight who is willing to pay rather well for the retrieval of a lost person. You've just heard the rumors that there's a good reward waiting for willing adventurers here in Fenlight.
This
Okay,
lost
in that,
person
in
is
that case, I will walk up to Rupert and ask him, Hail, Swamp Brother. Is there a bulletin board in this town of sorts? Any outstanding contracts, perhaps?
Bulletin board that would require most of these folks to be able to read. You can perhaps have a drawing board, I assume, but bulletin boards, I don't know. But I'm sure you could talk to that bump over there. You can hear screaming from here. I personally would not pay too much attention to him, but he seems the person who would be able to pay you for some services rendered.
I see. I thank you for
Uh,
your time.
the son of Rupert chimes up. Yeah. I've heard that he has a lot of money to pay for some sort of princess.
I see.
I wanted to go, but father did not let me.
I do not doubt his counsel. You are far too little to engage in such a task.
I'm
You
not
must train.
little. I'm 16. I'm perfectly capable of handling myself. Thank you very much. Just a couple of days ago, I fought 2 giant dragonflies. 2.
At the same time?
Yes. I was up to here in the bog when they attacked me, you see?
Very well. We shall take him along. He could be useful.
Father, can I go? No, son. No, you have a job to do here. You live under my roof. You're not going to go off willy-nilly with some random strangers into that fucking bog again. And do not lie to them, boy. You got chased back with your tail between your legs. You fought nothing. You shat your pants. That's what happened.
And here I thought I smelled the bog.
Remarkably similar, son. Remarkably similar.
In any case, I thank you for your information. Peace upon ye.
Peace be with you. Uh, let's move on to Gottfried. As a God-fearing man yourself, of course, you want to check out the chapel and, most importantly, the source of that screaming, that ungodly screaming that is coming from it. This chapel is the largest building of the village, constructed of mud bricks and driftwood. So this seems to be a more solidly built building than the rest of them. Above the entrance, a small copper bell hangs from a wooden frame, and you can hear pained groaning and screaming from the inside.
Are there
Uh,
like windows or anything to the side or?
There's not much in terms of windows. There's a large opening for the door, next to which is sitting a woman with a newborn babe in her arms with a worried-looking face.
Um, I walk up to the woman and I ask her if she knows what the screaming is about and what's going on.
Oh, are you a healer? Can you
I
help my husband?
I can be.
Look, sir, I would do anything to make my beloved Mirko better.
What's
Uh,
wrong with him?
I don't know. You better go inside and check him out. He's in a lot of pain.
What happened to him? Have
He
you
was,
any clue?
he went to the bog and he came back all weird and he's just looking rather strange. Can you please help him?
I can certainly have a look, but does this happen often that people go into bog and come back out of it acting strangely, or
No, not usually. Something strange must have happened to him. I don't know. I've never seen him like this before.
I can certainly have a look, but I don't make any promise that I can help him.
Oh, thank you, good sir. Thank you. God bless you.
And then I guess I walk in.
All right. You walk into the chapel. You can see a man lying on a cot, and in front of him, kneeling, there is a woman. She's dressed in white robes. She's quite, you know, religious looking. She must be the local priestess or healer or midwife or something. She is about middle aged. She has her hair shaved on one side, and you can see tattoos on her scalp. She's right now fiddling with some white-looking berries, and she's running around trying to find her mortar and pestle to make some sort of remedy for the man. The man in front of you on the cot is drenched in sweat. Uh, you can see that it's almost glistening his skin, and as he swats at his own arm with one hand, you can see that as he pulls away his hand, it extends a bit of slime, like a slimy secretion is coming off his skin. This is an unusual sort of sweat.
I guess I walk up to the man. So what happened? Well, what has transpired?
The man groans and is seemingly unaware of you, but the priestess says, "Oh, he caught something strange yesterday, and he just came home and he's been sick ever since. Are you a colleague of mine, perhaps? Do you know what his ailment might be?"
It depends on what god you pray to. But I certainly have some healing abilities.
Well, I pray to the world fish, of course, but and she gestures to her scalp, a bit unsure whether you have noticed it or not. It's quite a prominent feature of her, these worldfish religious symbols, who is the god of healing, as you well know. But I'm trying to make this white galleon paste. I think that might make him better, but I'm not sure. Can you help me? I'm going to dress his wounds. If you can take this over, I would be eternally grateful.
I try to help her because I don't think that with these bog related issues, my knowledge of healing will come to help here. So I help the lady with bandaging the man. Then I guess.
Mhm. Right. She gives you a handful of white berries. Okay, so this is the white gallium. Please, like mix it with fresh water, grind it into a paste, and we can apply it to his wounds. Then,
Is there any fresh water here? Because like
well, right there in the jug. You can find it in the jug.
okay, I guess I
The
go and do that.
the water of the river is relatively clean, so you are not in the bog yet. That's of the other side of the coast, but you could use it in a pinch in lieu of fresh water. So you grind it into a paste, and You have basically a rudimentary natural healing salve that you can apply to the man.
Okay. I apply it then on his. If I run and do that, come back to her and the man, and I start applying it, I guess, on his arm.
Right. There is a couple of wounds on his arm that you smear the white galleon berry paste onto. And could you roll me a wisdom check, please?
It just I don't need to change anything. It's just like it says, and then do a
Yep,
normal roll.
just
Yeah.
a normal roll.
Fuck.
No, that's good in this case. You want to roll low because you want to roll under your ability. So that's a success. You can tell that this is not just the effect of fever that he might have gotten from the wounds. He contracted some sort of illness somehow. You are an expert healer, so you quickly do a physical assessment. You touch the skin of this man, and you can also feel the slime between your fingers, and it's a very very cold sweat that he has. You check his mouth to see if there's anything lodged into it. He just screams inarticulately. And when you open his eyes, you peel them apart to see his pupils and reflexes. You can see that he has not one but three pupils, irises,
Mhm.
in his eye. He does not look back at you with any sort of sentience. If he is there, he is delirious and just in a really really rough shape. But as check his wounds, you press your hands down on his chest, on his abdomen, and as you press on his abdomen, you can feel something the size of your fist just wriggle and move and quickly slide out from underneath your hand.
That's fucked. Shit, I don't know if there's anything in my ability to like help him. Um, is it possible to cut him open and see if we can pull this thing out of him, or
You can certainly try.
because then I want to try it. I discuss it with my fellow priestess and ask if she has noticed this thing.
I did not, but my God, this might be worse than I've imagined. I noticed that there's something different about him. He was not this way when he left. He was a spry young man. You would not notice anything bad about him, but oh my goodness, I, I if you might really be right. Cutting him open might be our last resort. I could not do it myself. Honestly, I did not want to say this in front of his wife, but I fear that he might be too far gone.
Well, I still want to try it. Do you have any like small sharp object near here so we can make a clean cut?
Yeah, I have a surgical kit here somewhere, and she gives you a scalpel and rudimentary equipment that you would need to perform some sort of surgery.
Mm-hmm. Then I cut open on the place just below where I pushed my hands, because I'm trying to look for it. So if it slipped away, then I'm gonna cut a little lower just to see if I can find it.
Um, Sure. Could you roll me a dexterity throw?
Two.
That's good. That's good.
2. Okay, and also sorry, I'm extremely bad with the system, so I was thinking of a completely different kind of system where you need to roll under your ability. Sorry, here we also have
Oh.
ability modifiers, so I'm
That's
just
Call of
checking that.
Cthulhu, I think.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was wondering how it made sense that you get plus modifiers and you still have to roll under.
Yeah, what a mistake to make. In any case, so that's +1 on your dexterity. So that's a 2. All right, you cut the man open, and you can see that blood starts gushing from the wound. But you have managed to slice cleanly into his abdomen, and there is a flap of skin that you can thrust your head into to remove whatever is in there.
Okay, I try that. I do it. I yoink.
Nasty.
Excellent. Could you roll me another dexterity check, please?
We're 1 hour in and we're already doing a cesarean incision. Alhamdulillah, the child is born.
10. You thrust your hand into the man's abdominal cavity, and for a brief second, aside from the slippery blood and organs that you might be pushing aside, you grab onto something particularly slimy, and you look down where you're basically wrist deep into this man's abdomen, and you can see that there is this translucent goo oozing from him, and that's the sort of feeling that you get from whatever you have grabbed. And as you grab that thing, it starts fickling and thrashing, and you can feel the bite of teeth on one of your fingers, and you lose 1 hit point.
Shit.
And that
Uh,
I'll update your hit point total. And that thing is latched onto your finger.
which hand did I use? Left hand or right hand?
Whichever hand you used.
The left hand then. I still want to keep my right hands. So
Your wanking hand is in perfect safety.
perfect. Well, I guess did I get it, or is it still inside him then?
You're currently
Because I'm
wrist
currently
deep in the man
inside
with the
him.
thing biting you.
So his teeth are in me. So if I pull out, then will the thing be like hanging on onto my finger, or is it
One way
like
to
no?
figure out.
Yeah, then I like in reaction, I pull my hand out just to see if it's still on there, or yeah, I pull my hand out.
That's perfect. You rip your hand out from the man, and it's when you have that sort of booger that when you pull on it, you can feel it from your brain, like it's a long one. That's what it
No,
feels like.
no, I don't know
I'm
how it
sorry then.
feels.
So you start pulling on it, and you have felt this apple-sized tumor that was moving underneath his skin from the outside. That's what you felt. So you expect something apple-sized, but you just pull on it and pull on it, and that small incision that you have cut on his belly, it starts ripping open at the edges a bit because you pull it out, and it's black, slimy, eyeless tadpole the size of your forearm that is with its sharp, tiny teeth latched onto your finger. So you just pull it out, and you are holding it with one finger still in its mouth, and you're dangling it from, there.
Mhm.
It is still intensely biting you. It's not good for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I guess I have a. It's a bit overkill, but I have a sword on me, and I try to like cut its the where it's biting me, that stuff off, so the rest drops on the floor.
Right. You take out your sword and slice it. The head is still attached to your finger. It did not let go, but now there is black pus oozing from the head, and the remaining, the tail part is wriggling on the floor. And as a couple of moments pass, the grip kind of loosens on your finger, and it slowly slides off, and with a wet, moist thud, it lands on the floor. You look
Okay.
down on the man, and you see his lifeless eyes staring at you. He's ceased groaning and screaming. And you look onto the priestess next to you, Amelia,
What the fuck?
and you can see the combination of surprise and disgust in her look, while also you can see her eyes well up with tears.
I ask her, have you seen anything like this before?
Never in my life. But this,
I feel like the tone could have been a bit different. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever seen anything like this before? I'm sorry.
YouTube top 10 shocking things list.
my goodness,
Bogtube.
I I feared that he was too far gone, but I did not expect this. I, thank you, Sir Sir Gottfried,
Yeah.
for doing what I could not. I could not have I could not have done this myself.
Well, I guess I'm gonna tell the widows the bad news then. And
Uh,
because there's not much I can do with his body and his thing.
you leave the body to be disposed by the villagers according to their customs, probably floating down the river. Uh, the widow is, of course, quite distraught. The fact that her husband died, especially during these perilous times. Uh, but Amelia, she's very grateful for your help, and so she says, "Well, I prepared a couple of potions for him. I don't think he has any use for them anymore. So please have this." And she hands you a basic healing potion.
Um, can I ask her like why did he go into the bog in the first place?
Well, he works there. He's a fisherman like the rest of us. He went to gather some worms for bait.
Okay. Can I also like check on myself for is if because like what how it got into him was like through a bite on his arm. Can I check it if there's like any poison in my finger or anything?
Uh, you see, as you investigate the wounds on the now dead man, that there was an entry wound, a sizable one on his side that you have not noticed, and it is large enough for something to crawl into. It's a
Okay.
bit of a tight squeeze, but it has probably entered through there.
Okay.
I will put the potion of healing in your inventory. There you go. And that puts you over the carrying capacity that you have. So you might want to pawn that off to someone. Like right now, since you're just here in Fenlight, I don't really care if you're over the slots for now. You can shuffle it around when you leave. But
For future
keep that in mind.
reference, what does over encumbering yourself do?
You really cannot take more stuff with you. So
Okay.
12 slots is all that you can carry. Otherwise, you're not moving really.
Okay.
Now, let's do the initiative order again. So you have talked to the Catfish Wayne Master. You have done things in the chapel, and Quinn has talked to a villager and left quite rapidly. What do you want to do? Again, in initiative order, do you want to hear like what options you have, or do you remember?
I suppose I'm first. I already know I want to
Yes.
go to the heavy silk man that's yelling because I want to inquire whether or not they have a job offer for us, or if there happens to be some sort of image boards. See if there's any contracts hanging around, but mostly I want to talk to the guy.
All right. So you want to talk to this silken clad man. What about
Yes.
Easy?
I would like to ask one more question to the guy attaching the armor on the fish.
Okay. You can do that because I feel that you were a bit left out from the discussion at the Wayne Master. So
Okay.
you will be able to ask that, but in this round still. But what will you want to do after that?
I would like to see. I would also like to see what the silk man is, or the man with the silk is yelling all about.
Okie dokie. Gottfried, after this traumatic event, do you want to just huddle up in the corner and cry, or?
No, I'm quite used to the bloodshed, so it didn't leave me stunned or anything. But could I get the options again?
Yeah. So there are still villagers that you can talk to. You did get the idea altogether. You got the idea that these folks are rather superstitious. Like you are not unsure whether their fears are unfounded, but the rest of the party, they still are wondering, like, is it really necessary to move an entire fucking village up this stream? These folks are superstitious, that's for sure. So you can ask them about these superstitions that they have, for example, and the entire hullabaloo concerning the spawn moon. So you can talk to the villagers. You can check out the marshman's hut. You can check out the wizard's hut that is avoided by everyone in the village.
I
And
want to do that
think
one.
that's mostly it.
I want to ask on that, is there a chance that our characters cross each other while we're moving there?
You can just discuss stuff in between these rounds. So like you
Well-
can share all your experiences. Let's just say you've shared them.
Well, I mostly just want to spot that Gottfried has sustained a little boo-boo on his finger.
Not impressed by the tackle. Okay.
And I will say, Gottfried, you're harmed. A remedy beats a cure, so I will gather up some plants out of my bag and grind them to a paste to hopefully create a salve. It's a success, so I produce a healing salve that heals for 1 health point, and I will
Just a flesh wound.
I will smear it on his finger like so, and I will not give it a little kiss.
Please, a little one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, I'm just standing nearby.
What the fuck?
As you give his finger a salve and a kiss, you can taste that whatever is like, when you give it a kiss, some of the residue from the slime of that tadpole sticks onto your lip, and it's not only salty and fishy, let's just say, but also it is putrid. It smells of rot. Like
Can okay, yeah, no,
not
go.
even Lil Easy E was fed this bad of food in prison.
Can I, as a ranger, deduce what kind of animal slash being it came from?
From the description of Gottfried, you can tell that it should resemble a tadpole of a frog or a toad or something, but
But
you have never seen a frog or tadpole, a frog or toad that could produce such an enormous tadpole.
I seem to recall having heard through conversations in the previous round that someone saw a huge frog-like man, though. Three
Yes,
meters tall or something, or was it 3 feet?
3 meters.
The
3 meters.
catfish shoulder.
In that case, we will also relay that information to Gottfried, who probably was somewhere else during that time,
Okay,
and then I will move on.
okay, so Flanker, you want to talk to the Silken Man,
Yes.
Silken Clad Man. Easy also. Gottfried, you
The abandoned house.
abandoned house,
Yeah,
the wizard's hut, yes.
it was a
What about the old man?
You said there was the Marshman's hut,
Yep.
uh, like Marshman, like to go into the marshes, or
Um, that's the best translation I could muster. Marshman is an actual term, but it's Pakas, which tells me as much as Marshman does, by the way. But
then
he's a
a
fisherman.
fisherman. Yeah,
He just deals with all sorts of hunting and gathering business within marshes slash bogs, whatever.
I guess I go to up to the Watchman to inquire about this full moon thing because
All
I
right,
might he might know more about that.
Quinn.
Well, the whole point of the me helping out was to find the rich merchant. So that's my next step.
All right, so
Going
you
to the
would
rich merchant.
also go with Easy E and Flanker to talk to the man yelling on the pier. And now you approach this man. Oh shit, I think I have some art for you here. I really hope. Possibly not, sorry. Yeah, there is still only AI art available for this module because they're still commissioning the artwork. So no artwork for you, but you can imagine a man with a short blonde beard, intensely blue eyes, and silken robes to match it. And as you walk up to him, he says, "Oh, well, good sir, good sirs. Are you perhaps here for the contract? Come at once, come at once.
That highly depends, my brother in Silk, on the contents of the contract, but we are interested nonetheless.
Well, me and my friends," and he gestures to the two soldiers in rather elaborate armor behind him. We, well, we are looking for a person. That person you might recognize as Princess Eleanor. She has been lost, I'm afraid, in the bog. and I've sent my men on a rescue expedition to retrieve her, but they have been unsuccessful. And as a matter of fact, we have not even heard of neither the rescue party nor Princess Eleanor Dorian. So I would be eternally grateful for any sort of help in uncovering
That's just solely.
their disappearance. my,
Sorry, go ahead.
my name, you might have heard of me. My name is Bertrand Skylorn, and I am the dignitary of the kingdom. And I can assure you that if you bring her back to me, you will be very, very well compensated.
This march sounds like a dangerous place for a young girl. I assume it's a young girl.
Oh
To be
yes,
lost.
she is quite young and beautiful, I might add.
Describe
Not
her
too
in
young, though.
detail. Describe her in detail, if you will. We need to know whom we're looking for. Although it would seem weird to find any other girl in a bog alone.
Well, the plan was not to drop her off in the bog, you see. um, you surely have heard of Princess Dorian. She is the daughter of the king of the neighboring kingdom, and she was to be wed to Prince Albert, the, of course, the prince. You're in the kingdom of which Prince Albert is a prince of. He is the heir to the throne, so he is quite a big deal. And so there was this wedding to be had, and this was supposed to unite the two nations, hopefully. And she sailed here, but she has left her kingdom a couple of days ago, and it must have run aground or something because they have not traveled up the river. So she must be shipwrecked or stranded in the bog.
Do you have a travel route of the ship? Where it must
Well,
have entered the bog?
well, the river here ends in a delta, so she must have come from the sea, but the exact route that they might have taken is unknown to me. There are not many waterways that are fit for shipping. I assume they must have come from the north.
And she's a princess, you say?
Yes.
It's probably she came in on a recognizable vessel.
Certainly, the gentleman here, and he gestures to Quinn. You must be familiar with the royalty. You seem like a more well-traveled man than your fellow milad here.
Yes, it's very sad to hear. It's been a while since I've met the Dorian family.
Well,
Um,
but if you know that, then you also know how precarious the situation between the two nations is. If if the princess is not, if the princess does not arrive to Prince Albert safely, who knows what the consequences might be? War might even follow. You
um,
you see why it's the utmost importance to deliver the princess in safety.
yeah, it seems like a good way to get back in the good graces of the family. Um,
I I will give with my mace like a little nudge to little Easy E, and say,
I immediately become wary of the guards and try to cover up my face.
so I'll nudge him a little bit and say, this might be our chance to get a royal pardon.
I try to look at him with my hand and say, "Royal pardon for what? For what you mean? I'm just in here for the money. I guess we're in. How hard can it be to look for a little girl, huh?"
Gentlemen, I did not expect knights in shining armor to show up. And he looks around and he, under his breath, mutters, just barely audible to, in this shithole of a town. I I am able to say that whatever your transgressions might have been, I am sure that they will be eclipsed by the rescue of the princess, if you know what I mean.
Can we put that in writing?
Can you read it?
I certainly can.
I
But I
I,
assume
I
my
can promise that, yes, and
my
I'm willing
son.
to put that in writing, of course. Anything for the princess. I'm willing to say that the rescue of the princess is of the utmost import.
I want a written assurance. I'm not going back to jail. I mean, going back to jail. I'm just not going to jail. As I gesture to my companions and ask them to take over the conversation.
Very well. Give us a written contract with the details. I'll go over all of the logistics, and you, my friend, Quinn, read the tiny letters for me.
No problem.
Always
Well,
read the fine print.
of course. Well, if the gentleman wants assurances that such a feat does not go unrewarded, I can help with that. I can draft something very quickly that, upon the safe return of the princess, yada yada yada, in her name and forthwith, and without prejudice, blah blah blah. Your royal pardon for whatever you might have done. You can be taken in, employ of the court. How does that sound? That, I believe, would mean diplomatic immunity. Fuck the contract. I am unwilling to stay in this godforsaken cesspit for any longer that I need, and I am certain that none of these people have a clean parchment or a clean table I can set this down on. So, I will just give you my brooch. And he unclasps a like big silver brooch from his coat.
Shit, it's silver.
This is my royal brooch, and if you show this to anyone, any man of the law, they will respect it. I can guarantee that. You're muted.
Oh, you're muted.
As he tries to give it to Flanker, I immediately yank it out of his hands to inspect if it's real.
It is real silver, and it is a rather elaborate filigree bit of brooch. Well, or that. No,
I just found a fibula real quick.
is that the one I made?
No, it's one I got for my birthday. So I had it lying close by.
So yeah, it's an elaborate filigree silver brooch, but it does bear the royal crest of the kingdom, so it is the genuine artifact.
Hang on. Where's the money reward?
Well,
Beats me, man.
I'm not going to give. I'm sorry, but even if I could, I would prefer not to give you anything in advance. It's not like I can carry that much gold on me. So, well, you can expect a hefty reward when you return the princess safely.
As a thief, can I see if he's? Can I check his pockets or something like that?
Well, you can try to rob him, but that might come with some consequences. Even though you have the brooch right now, that does not shield you against any further crime. Let me just say that. But looking up and down, you can see that he has a bag full of heavy gold hanging from his belt. You can
Okay,
see that
cool.
it's quite full because it has a certain weight to it as it swings.
I nod to my colleagues and I assure them he's speaking the truth, or at least I am convinced.
Looking at his pouch, you can estimate that he has around 300 gold on him right now.
All right, boys, this is the deal.
Very
Okay.
well. We will see at the dawn.
That's very good. I wish you the best of luck, but well, I suppose see you in the royal palace, hopefully. And please, if you find my soldiers that I've sent into the book, please also direct them back as soon as you can once you have retrieved the princess, because there's a shortage of knights in this land, of course, so I would not want them to wander around the bog aimlessly after you have found the princess for too long. Who knows what lurks in there. But anyway, one thing's for certain, you're not going to find me here as the village is being disassembled, so we are going to be leaving with them very soon. So, Royal Palace it is. Best of luck, gentlemen. Old man, we pan to you as you start walking towards a log cabin on dry land right next to the river that is boasting its own little pier. Uh, Again, this is very much unlike the rest of the houses as it's on dry land actually, so you're quite grateful at this point to set your foot on some solid ground. You can see the cabin and next to it a little shed. You peer into it, you can see plenty of tools and fishing nets. So this is the cabin of the Marshman.
Marshman as in more, that's like in plural, or like in the
Just the one.
one and only Marshman, the one and only. All right. I knock on the door, and yeah, that's is the Marshman home?
Yes. I'm coming. And the Marshman opens the door, and in front of you there is this rather tall, middle-aged man with an incredibly big, bushy, gray beard that covers his entire face almost and hangs down to his chest. Yes. How can I help you, young man?
Well, I'm here to inquire about this bog. I heard this and that, but I figured that you're the one who knows this place well. So might you answer my questions if you have the time? As I can see, you are not really helping the villagers move the city. You will stay during the spawn moon.
Well, I am going to travel upstream, not because I would not be able to weather it out, this spawn here, but I would rather not let my little girl Rachel get into any harm's way. So I was planning on leaving, yes. But of course the house stays here. This is less mobile than the rest.
What kind of harms are you talking about? Do these bogs are any treacherous than any other bog?
Well, they're curiosities within all sorts of large and wild animals, and you might think that the locals are a bit superstitious, but let me tell you, those superstitions are well founded.
I found it because of this spawn moon. Have you ever lived through a spawn moon?
Oh,
How
yes,
does it happen?
yes. I was but a lad when the last spawn moon happened, but I recall that the wildlife just went crazy. They You could not stand in right here. You could not stand right here without having your ears blown out by all the croaking of the frogs and all sorts of weird noises that I could not even identify. I don't usually advise setting foot into the bog on its own, but I would rather avoid it during the spawn moon if I were you.
On a normal day, like between the spawn moons, how far do you venture into this bog? I mean, is there like
Oh, I do know the bog quite well, as it is my trade. I do know the safe route to take if one wants to enter and not get caught on the reeds all the way through. I'm a bit of a local guide, you see. If someone would want to venture in there for something, I am the man to look for.
why would anyone want to venture into besides you fishing or cutting some weed for the roofs of the houses? Is there
For
something interesting in there or
for one reason or the other, you might have noticed that this bog is rather uh, off the usual shipping routes for the kingdom, and that is certainly being taken advantage of by less honest people. Um, some people like to go in there and keep some stashes of gold. Well, okay, let's just be upfront because it's an open secret. Smugglers frequent the bog, and also those who hunt the treasures of long dead smugglers. It can be a lucrative business, but it's not does not always pay off.
smugglers live in the bog regularly? They sleep there, they spend their time
They
there.
they try to spend as little time in there as possible, as far as I know.
Do you feel there's anything wrong with this bog when there's not a
Is there
spawn
anything
moon
right with any bog?
on a
Well,
bog scale? Because that sounds like me that this bog is not just a bog. Is there something unnatural? Did you encounter any unnatural thing in this bog?
if you don't count the spawn moon, then it's a regular bog. One can make a living off of it. The whole village knows that's why we are here. The spawn moon, however, does change things. It, uh, it is a strange time.
Have
We notice this impending spawn moon when the moon starts turning red.
have you heard
Just
anything about the origin of this spawn moon? Is there any
well,
family stories, some local fables or tales about? Because it seems like to me this spawn moon is a really big event in the local lives.
it is. It is. You would not believe it, but sometimes in these times you would see frogs on two legs standing almost as tall as a man. Yeah, if you go into the bog, even outside of the spawn moon, you can sometimes see the dried up footprints of these things that we call the toadlings. And I know for a fact that if you step into the footprint of such a toadling, you will have bad luck for the following 13 years.
Have you ever seen a toadling yourself?
Countless times. They mostly come out during the spawn moon, so I would be careful if I were you. If you
Hmm.
aim to venture into the bog.
Well, I don't really have. Uh, Hearing these phone stories, I don't think that will be a good idea. I don't like the thought of it. But these toadlings attacked anyone ever, or because I heard about them from the fisherler, but I don't know. Seems I can't really put my finger on it if this is some real thing or.
Oh, it is very real, I can assure you.
Well, thanks for the chat and be safe out there.
Thank you. Now, come, Rachel. Put your things away. We are going on the Wayne Masters boat soon.
It's time for me to head back to my companions too. So I guess then I turn around and look for the guys who went to the Silkman.
All right. Now, Gottfried von Pantalon, you head towards the smallest hovel of the village, lacking any windows. On its side, a chalkboard sign advertises with large letters, Silentius, Master Wizard. Its door is closed, and the village folks seem to be avoiding it.
Can I go to one villager that's trying to avoid it and ask him why he's avoiding them?
Oh, that that is the hut of Silentius. He's a strange man. Uh, he has seen better times, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, it's best if you avoid him. Now, if you excuse me, I need to pack my things because we are just about to set out.
Okay, that's all I need, and I head straight to the hut. And I knock on the door.
All right. You hear a booming. Actually, could you please roll me a wisdom check?
Do you want high or low?
Yeah, now it's high, like according to the actual rules.
Okay. Mother.
Okay.
Duh.
You hear a booming voice from within, and he says, "Enter!" And as you open the door, you are hit by a thick smoke that is reminiscent of camphor. So you your nose fills with the smell of this burning incense as you enter. You, even though this is a tiny hut, you see the interior of an enormous palace as you step in. So it's like the TARDIS from Doctor Who. It's from within, it's
Smaller on the
much
outside.
larger. Yeah, and you can see vibrantly colored pillows, gilded ornaments, and in the middle, on top of a couple of pillows with a shisha in front of him, you can see a young, dashing wizard. You can see that he's a wizard because he's sitting in a lotus position, but he's hovering above the pillows ever so slightly. He's wearing a turban. He has even richer gold and silk garments than Bertrand that you've just talked to. And he says, "Enter the domain of Silentius, mighty wizard. What is it that you want?"
Aren't you like worried about leaving? Are you gonna stay here? Well, everyone is leaving, you're staying here?
My child, I do not believe in such superstition as the spawn moon. It cannot get in the way of Silentius, master wizard.
Have you encountered the spawn moon before? Is this like how long are you already here?
I've moved here 5 years ago, but trust me when I say this, spawn moon, there is no such thing. I will moor my cabin, my little houseboat by the marshman's hut, and I will just enjoy the fresh bog air for the next couple of days. Finally, alone and unbothered by these common folk.
So you already encountered the massive tadpoles that come out of people's bodies, or
What tadpoles, what tadpoles, oh, come on.
okay. um, so he's totally not worried about it.
None. I have no concerns whatsoever.
You also look like a powerful wizard, so I'm sure you're safe here.
Thank you for noticing. Yes, I'm quite adept at all sorts of magics, including, but not limited to, alchemy.
Ooh,
Look. Okay, fine. One needs to specialize. That's what I always say. The Grandmaster Xylanthius. Be the best at something, not just okay at few things. I am I have become, since moving here, quite adept at creating all sorts of magical incense and, you know, all sorts of remedies. But my supplies are dwindling, so uh, I am hoping that this spoon moon nonsense will be over so I can send some of these village bumfucks into the bog again for a bit of the good stuff.
oh, what is it you're looking for?
Well, are you perchance headed into the bog? Are you an enlightened gentleman such as myself, not like the village idiots who fear to venture into the bog?
I'm going into the Borg pretty soon, yeah.
Excellent. Now, I would be very appreciative if you could fetch a few Black Lotus rhizomes for me, like the underground growth, bulbous growth of the Black Lotus plant. You see,
Hmm.
um, I would be appreciative in more ways than one.
And what do I get in return?
Well, what is it that you desire? I have quite a few potions that could be useful for you in the future. Perhaps you are seeking love. I can help you
Not,
with that.
not really. Um, I was more looking for a way to get out of the Borg alive. So if you have any healing potions or anything.
Well, healing potions, healing. I leave that to the simpletons over at the chapel because honestly, that would be a waste of the capabilities of Master Wizard Xelantius. But I can give you something more potent if you wish. For example, I have here this potion of mist. It allows you to turn into mere fog for a minute. It is quite handy for you getting you out of sticky situations.
It could be of use if you want me to get this Black Lotus. I don't know. It's my first time here, so I don't know what kind of things I'm gonna encounter in this bog. I've heard talk about like toad people, so if I could get this in
Ah,
advance to get your.
nonsense.
I've seen the tadpoles myself, so they're pretty big.
All right. Well, I have quite a collection of potions that I could give you, but what about you give me some gold? You pay me for the potions, and if you return with the Black Lotus, I give you your gold back.
Then I'm just doing free labor.
No, because you're getting potions.
Yeah, but if I then get you your stuff back, I don't see a win-win.
Well, the win.
Not just yet.
Well, you're not going into the bog for me, you're going in the bog for your own entertainment, let's just say. I'm just asking you to retrieve some flowers for me. I'm willing to help you and give you potions, and that might expedite your return and ensure your safety on the way here. I just do not want to be swindled. What assures me that you're not just going to take my potion and run off into your cozy little houses on dry
That's
land?
true.
So
That
you give me the money as an assurance that you're going to return, and if you return, you get your money back, and then you are, better off with one potion, or maybe two if you're lucky.
okay, but these better be some pretty damn good potions, man.
Well,
Potion selling.
look, you cannot handle my strongest potions, traveler. But I can look for something weaker uh, that might not kill you instantly. What? So you want to keep yourself alive? Is that what you're saying?
To the best of my abilities, yeah.
He snaps his fingers, and a couple of vials float up to him. Well, for example, and he reaches out. Here's one. It shimmers with silver. It's almost like a quicksilver vial. Oh, well, this one gives you luck. It can turn the tide of any battle. If if you're just in a pinch, you can consume this, and your luck will instantly turn for the better. Or
I
how
don't
about
believe in luck.
this?
What do
How
you have
about
else?
this? This one hardens your skin. I call it the stone ointment. You apply it to your skin, and it becomes like stone. The blows of a weapon can even just bounce off your skin. Or if you're looking to deal some damage, he picks up a vial that is strangely reminiscent of a vial of blood. It's dark red, oxidized blood almost. It looks like, well, this is a bloodthirst potion. It enhances your fighting abilities. It can draw blood from any man, animal, or creature, provided you can hit it. It, I cannot teach you how to fight, but I can enhance your skills.
Okay, that sounds pretty. That sounds something I'm interested in. And how much are you looking for?
How much do you have?
Enough.
Let's just be reasonable. You're not going to use your gold in the bog. It's not like you're going to find uh, any merchants in there. So let's just be, let's just trust each other, friend. How about you give me your purse? I'm not going to look into it. I'm not going to see how much gold you have. I'm going to keep it safe. And I'm not even going to open it unless you don't turn back. I mean, don't turn up. So if you don't come back for a couple of weeks, I just assume that you had better things to do, and I will keep the gold. But if you come back, then I will hand you your pouch unopened. How is that?
Okay, I think we have a deal, man. Potion salad.
All right. Which potion would you like?
I would like the bloodlust.
All
I'm
right.
already pretty bloodlust, but maybe some of my companions want to have a taste of my power.
Just be careful.
I already had a taste. It was
Yeah.
putrid, if I remember.
All right.
Yeah.
He takes your remaining gold and puts it into a small ornate gilded chest that is floating next to him as he beckons it forth. And he says, "Good luck on your quest, adventurer. Zelentius Master Wizard will be waiting your return." Ah.
Okay, see you later,
Alligator.
alligator.
And he waves you farewell. All right. Last chance. You reconvene in the middle of the village, and they are really about to set out. So this is your last chance to do anything. There's not much. Of course, you have explored most of the locations. So if you have any ideas what you want to do, talk to some more villagers, or
What
figure out what to do,
options?
now is now.
What options do I have left to choose from, or do we have left to choose from? The Screaming Chapel thing has been done. The Catfish main house has been done.
We were
Most
the
have.
wizards. We
You
were
can
the
still get some tips from the villagers, ask about the spawn moon, but otherwise you can just set out if you want. You don't know
uh,
where, but you
did
can
we
certainly try to find your way into the
did,
bog.
did we decide on going into the bog? So
Well, the
you guys,
contract did state, I think, that the princess came in from the north.
where did the knights go? Do we know that? Maybe we could ask around, see where that party went, and I guess if they haven't returned, choose another direction or entry point because
But
the princess might not be there.
this Marshman, he had shards. Like, is it possible to go ask him for the
That's a good
shards?
idea. It's a good idea.
Check the safe routes.
Well,
I guess I'm going back to the Marshman.
Okay. Would you all just go together and talk to the
I
marshman?
guess.
Yeah, I'm following
Yeah.
my boy.
So am I. My Bruder.
Okay. So you get onto the shore for a final time as the last ships, houseboats are about to depart. And you talk to Malvadar, the marshman, and he says, "Well, of course, I know the bog like the palm of my hand, but are you about to venture in there? Are you sure that's
Apparently,
a
we're going
safe
to
idea?"
rescue a princess.
Huh.
Have you any routes traveling north?
But there is but one entrance to the bog. I can show you the way if you, well, if you can spare a few coins. You see, now that everyone is leaving, I don't have much to do, so perhaps I could take you there.
I
Not
ain't
a,
got
not
no
a problem
money,
for me.
man.
Name your price, Marshman, and we will compensate you.
But just a couple dozen gold pieces would set
24
my.
gold pieces, I see.
Could I steal them back?
You can try. But well, 24 gold. Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable amount.
You
If
stated a
you,
couple dozen. That is what I will provide.
yes, that is quite literally a couple dozen. So 24 gold pieces. I would be happy to accompany you to the bog. I mean, it is my job, and it would set me up quite nicely.
This house will be empty in the meantime.
Yes, yes. My little Rachel is going to go with Rupert. He's going to take care of her. This is not unusual to send children with friends.
Perhaps we can use this as a resting place, should we need to gather our...
Of course, if you return, you are all my guests in this house. It might not be the most comfortable one, but at least it's out of the bog and you're not going to get bitten by the mosquitoes.
Very well. I've removed 24 gold pieces from my inventory, so no one else needs to look at their gold for now.
All right, he puts it in a small leather pouch and takes a knee to get onto eye level with Rachel, his 8-ish-year-old daughter. And he says, quite in a gentle, soothing tone, "Look, Rachel, here's the money that we talked about that could get you into school. Okay, keep it safe, and when you get to the town where you're going to anchor, go to the schoolmaster and give it to him, and he will take care of you. Okay, you will learn how to read, how to write. They will teach you all sorts of things that will allow you to move to a better place. All right? Yes, Daddy. All right, now be a good kid and go to Rupert, and he will bring you to town. All right? All right. So the young girl is just going to walk with her little bag to the Waynmaster's house, who is going to be in charge of her for the following couple of days. So, now that that is dealt with, would you like to set out?
Yes.
I guess we will.
I'm following.
All right. Well, it is a good thing that you have hired me, my friends, as it can be tricky to find your way into the bog on your own.
Do I still need to? Because I think I'm overcumbered by now. Because the potion of healing and the bloodlust file.
Yeah, you should. Good idea. Thanks. Pass that off to someone.
I see you are heavy, my brother. I can carry your weight. Give me anything. I shall shoulder it.
How much
Maybe
room do you have? Oh, you have enough room. All right. I'll give you a torch. Can I just like pick it up and pass it to him, or how does it work?
I think you need
Well,
to take it out of your inventory and.
Worst comes to worst, I'll just add whatever you remove. How the fuck do I add items again? It's been a while, I already forgot. There we go. So 1 torch, okay. That's not enough, I think.
And you keep this bloodlust potion also.
Oh shit! I just put it into your inventory.
Yeah, I know, but I pass it over to him. So
okay, I'll put it into flankers then.
the person I don't really trust. Here, take the bloodlust.
I'll take the stopper off and take a smell.
The stop.
Smells quite like blood.
Smells like home.
All right. I've updated the description. So it's not bloodlust, it's bloodthirst, but never mind.
Okay.
Okay, so you set out to enter the bog. You can see Marvodar unfold a big map of the bog. And I'm going to put you on their own foundry, which is...
Hey, we actually get to move around and do stuff. Fun.
No, actually, this is just...
No, no, we don't get to
Keep
move
track.
around and do stuff yet.
Too early, too early.
You see the map, right? So
It's invisible now, and I
Black.
have no. I don't think we have tokens on the map
Yeah,
yet.
it said we don't have tokens.
that's interesting
Yeah,
because I put the
it's
party
black.
token on there. Shit.
I see people moving shit around, but I.
Yeah, it's just a black screen.
Hold on. Party configure ownership.
And a
Who owns
square
an
that's
owner?
moving.
How is this?
I don't even see the square.
Do you see anything right now?
Just the
I see
cursor.
Oh,
Fine.
no,
You-
it's loaded.
I'll put
Something
everyone
loaded.
on the map then.
Oh, that's big as hell.
Wait,
Oh.
wait, only the bottom
Um,
for me. Not
Or,
everything.
Right, that's all of you. I just created one token for the entire party, so you can move around the map, but it doesn't really matter. Please don't
Are all
move
the-
around here.
Oh,
Are all these triangles like? Is this the road to Budapest, and these are all like traffic jams? Like,
I guess these are fires.
Oh, well, you will
Um,
see a number of statues along the way. They don't.
And how do you center the map?
yeah, how do you... I need to move it to the bottom, but...
Just zoom out, I suppose.
Yeah,
I have
you
absolutely
can
no
move
idea.
the
Evert,
map with
I
right
still
click.
see only half of it.
Right mouse
Yeah,
click.
same.
Right mouse click, yeah, right mouse click.
Evert is
And
much
drag.
more adept at using it from
Oh, yeah,
the
got
user
it.
side because I can always see everything. So right. Top left, I'm going to track how much
These two.
time has passed. So we are going to start counting the time from now on, I think. Right. And let's take a 10-minute break. Okay. And let's reconvene sharp at 5 p.m. How's that?
Okay.
very
Aye.
well. Everyone, make sure you get like a snack
Thank you.
And a beer.
and a beer.
Long
Alright.
Island iced tea.